Hello, my friend. It's good to be with you today. Has someone ever asked you to do something that you knew was wrong? Maybe your friend was making fun of somebody and they wanted you to laugh at that person with them, and you knew it was wrong, but you also want to do what your friend asks because they're your friend and you want them to still like you. It can be hard to do the right thing sometimes, especially when someone wants us to do something that's wrong. But I want to tell you a story today about two women in the Bible who were very, very brave and stood up to someone who told them to do the thing that they knew was wrong. Their names are Shiphrah and Puah, and the person they stood up to was the king of the whole land. The king told them to do something that they knew was wrong, and they had to figure out what they were going to do about it. Let's hear how the story goes. Joseph and his family had many children while they lived in Egypt, and then their children had many children. Their children were called the Hebrew people. One day, there was a new king in Egypt. He had forgotten the story of Joseph and how Joseph had helped Egypt survive when there was no food in the land. Instead, he looked out over his kingdom and said, "There are so many Hebrew people now. They may have been born in Egypt, they may live alongside us, but they are not like us. What if they take my kingdom of Egypt away from me? I won't let that happen." So he ordered other Egyptians to gather the Hebrews together and force them to work very, very hard for no money. But even so, the Hebrew people remained strong, and they kept growing. The king thought, "Oh no! I must do something else to stop them. Surely they will take my kingdom away from me." So he called the midwives. Midwives are women who help deliver babies. The midwives were named Shiphrah and Puah. The king said, "When you help deliver the babies for the Hebrews, you must kill the boy babies." Shiphrah and Puah said nothing to the king because he was in charge, but inside they were horrified. "We can't kill babies, even if the king tells us to. That's wrong. We love God, and we love God's children, so we will help them live," they said to each other. "Even though the king orders it, we will not do it." And they didn't do what the king had told them to. Sometime later, the king called Shiphrah and Puah back. He knew they weren't killing the baby boys like he told them to. Shiphrah and Puah knew that if they told the king he was wrong, he would be very angry with them and he would punish them. He might even hurt them. But the women were very clever, so they invented a story to tell the king. They said to the king, "The Hebrew women are different from Egyptian women. They are so strong, they have the babies before we even have a chance to show up." The king didn't think the women would be brave enough to disobey his order, so he believed their story. He was very frustrated. But God was with Shiphrah and Puah. The women lived out their lives, proud that they had done the right thing, and they had large families of their own. The end. When someone asks us to do something that will hurt someone else or that will hurt us, we have to not do it, even if we like that person because we think they're our friend, or even if that person is very strong or powerful, like the king. Doing the right thing can be scary sometimes. I bet Shiphrah and Puah were very scared when they disobeyed the king. When you do what's right, even though it's scary, we call that being brave. Have you been brave? I bet you have. I bet you've been brave in all kinds of ways. And I bet as you get older, you will continue to do lots of brave things and stand up for what's right, just like Shiphrah and Puah. Now let us close with a prayer. Please read along with me, or have a grown-up read along. Dear God, help me to be brave and do what's right, even when it's scary. Amen.
The text of this story was prepared by me, Catherine Ray.
Illustrations are by Viola Mayol.